All right, guys, before we do anything today, I want to start with a warm-up. So if you guys could multiply 2x times this polynomial here. So go ahead and try that and then check your answer with me in a minute. So remember, when we multiply, you multiply coefficients, but you add the powers. So 2 times 3 is 6, and if you add the powers, the secret 1 plus 2 is 3. All right, now the next one. 2x times negative 9 is negative 18. And if you add the powers, 1 plus 1 is 2. And then lastly, multiply it to the negative 4. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And you add the powers, but there's only this one, so we're done. Okay, now today's goal is we're going to start going backwards. And when you go backwards, the word is called factoring. Okay, so what we're going to do is what we did yesterday. We're going to find the common factor, the GCF, and we're going to pull it out. Okay, so we're going from the long version back to the shortened version. It's called factoring. All right, let's do it. So I kind of just said it. Today we are finding GCF like we did yesterday, but then actually dividing it out of the remaining terms. Now, since it's just going backwards, we're just reversing the steps. So you know how you guys here, you multiplied the coefficients and added the exponents? When we divide out the GCF, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to be dividing the coefficients and subtracting the exponents. And if you ever want to check your answer, you're just going to redistribute it and you'll get back to where you started. All right, so today's might be a little tough. We're going to have a review day tomorrow. First thing you guys have to do is find the GCF. So I would write that down first. So for every single problem, always just write down the GCF first. Okay, so out of 5 and 15, what is the GCF? Okay, so out of 5 and 15, hopefully you guys would say 5. And then the smaller amount of x's, this one has 1, this one has none. So the GCF, we cannot pull out an x, it's just 5. All right, so just 5. Now we actually divide it out. So you're going to write down the GCF first, and then you're going to write a big parenthesis, and you're actually going to divide it out. So we divide the numbers. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And then you subtract the exponents, but this one has 1 and this one has none. So 1 minus none is still just an x. Okay, and then a minus sign. 15 divided by 5 is 3. This is all we're doing today, but I know it's not that easy. Okay, so you're finding GCF and you're actually dividing it out to see what's left over. Now, if you guys want to check if you're right, just go ahead and distribute, and you'll get 5x minus 15, which is what you started with, so you know you did it right. Okay, let's try another one. Letter B. What is the GCF? So out of 1 and 9, what is the greatest common factor? Well, the only number that goes into 1 and 9 is 1. And then it's the smaller amount of x's. If this one has 2 and this one has 1, you can only pull 1 out. Okay, so the GCF is 1x. All right, so let's write down the GCF and a big parenthesis, and let's divide it out and see what's left inside. Okay, so we divide. 1 divided by 1 is 1, and the exponents you subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, then there's a minus sign. 9 divided by 1 is 9. And when you subtract, 1 minus 1 is 0, so that means there's no x's left. This is your answer. Again, if you want to check your answer, just FOIL it out, and you'll get back to where you started. I'll show you. X times x is x squared minus x times 9 is 9x. That is what you started with, so you know you did it right. All right, let's try C. What is the GCF? Out of 4 and 8, the biggest number that divides into 4 and 8 evenly is 4. And then it's the smaller power. This one's 3, this one's 1, so just 1. So 4x. If you want to write the 1, you can. Doesn't matter. All right, now let's divide it out. So write out the GCF 4x and draw a big parenthesis and see what's left. So we divide. 4 divided by 4 is 1. To get the x's, we subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2, so x squared. And then minus. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now when we subtract the powers, 1 minus 1 is 0, so it's gone. So you are done. All right, let's do a couple more. Again, feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, whatever you need. All right, letter D. What is the greatest common factor of 6 and 9? And 6 and 9 both divide by 3 evenly. And then this one has 1x, but this one has none. So the smaller amount is none. So the 3 is the only thing you can take out. All right, let's do it. Draw the 3, draw a parenthesis, and divide everything by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and we still have an x there, minus 9 divided by 3 is 3. So that is all you can do. All right, letter E, GCF. What do 2 and 18 both divide by? So the biggest number that 2 and 18 both divide by is 2. And we can take the smaller power out of 2 and 1. The smaller power is 1. So the GCF is 2x. All right, so we're going to write that down, 2x. Now, draw a parenthesis and actually do it. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And if you subtract, there's 1x left. Minus 18 divided by 2 is 9. And if you subtract, well, 1 minus 1 is 0, so it's gone. If it's ever 0, you just don't write it. It's gone. All right, guys, last one. I want to do this one because it's a triple. 10, 12, and 4. The biggest number that they all divide by evenly is 2. And then out of 3 and 2 and 1, the smallest power is 1. Okay, so that's our GCF. So we're going to pull that out and then divide. 10 divided by 2 is 5. If you subtract, 3 minus 1 is x2, and then plus. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And if you subtract, 2 minus 1 is 1 left. And then minus sign, 4 divided by 2 is 2. And if you subtract, 1 minus 1 is 0, so nothing. And that is factored form. All right, nice job, guys. That was factoring out the GCF.